What's up, Psychedelic Investors? My name's James, and you're watching The Psychedelic Investor. In today's impromptu video, we will be discussing 5 things. First, we will cover MindMed's stock movement and explain why it is continuing to skyrocket. Second, we will discuss whether or not it is too late to buy shares in this company. Third, should you take profits? Fourth, a quick update on the Nasdaq Uplisting. And finally, and most importantly, we have some clinical trial updates to share with you today. But first, if you enjoyed this video and find it entertaining and educational, invest in this channel with your like and subscribe. Over time, you'll see your investment grow as we continue to bring you quality information on the psychedelic medicine sector. Enjoy the video. So to start today's episode, we're going to be looking at the stock price. And all I can say is, wow. At the time of filming, MMEDF, so the American ticker on the OTC market, is at $4 exactly. On the Canadian NEO market, it is at $4.95. That is up almost 50% in the last 5 trading days, and over 400% in the past month. And just as a side note, it is also up over 400% since our first video on November 20th, when the stock was at a lowly $1.25. So I hope some of you used that episode to load up on some MindMed. So, why is MindMed launching ahead at full speed, and perhaps more importantly, can it continue? To answer the first question, I see 3 reasons. First and foremost is the Nasdaq Uplisting. Lots of people and institutions seem to be realizing that MindMed appears to be the real deal, and they're attempting to get into the stock before it is uplisted and is open to a wider pool of investors. And just as a reminder, if and when the uplisting happens, investing in MindMed will be open to a much larger population, as both large institutions in the United States and retail investors using Robinhood will be able to purchase the stock. And I would hazard a guess that the majority of the movement we are seeing right now is people and institutions trying to get in before the Nasdaq uplisting happens. Second, yesterday MindMed had some very good clinical trial news regarding both their 18-MC to treat addiction program and their LSD to treat anxiety program. Now, I'm not saying that it is the least important, au contraire, mes chers amis, it is by far the most important news for the stock's long-term health. But the market is stupid. It cares more about short-term thinking and hype. And speaking of which, the third reason the stock is exploding is just that, hype. Lots of people are probably feeling extreme FOMO right now, and for my one subscriber over the age of 65, FOMO is the fear of missing out. Now, these people see the stock attempting to leave the atmosphere, and they are trying to buy a last-minute ticket. These are the people that will pull out as soon as there's some bad news or a little pullback, which of course will happen. So, to whatever extent these people are influencing the stock price, I would view it as temporary and artificial. They will leave at some point and pull the price down with them when they go. Now, having said that, I doubt that it would have too much of an effect on the short-term price, and it will have absolutely zero effect on the long-term price or the health of the company. Moving on to the second part of this video, can the run-up continue? Before I launch into my thoughts, I just want to clarify that contrary to how it looks at the moment, I am not a crystal ball. Predicting short-term stock movement is a fool's game, and your guess is as good as mine. Real money is made on long-term investments in companies with a strategic advantage that will disrupt their industries. And if you've been watching this channel, you will know that I believe MindMed fits this description to a T. So, to reframe the question, is it too late to invest in MindMed? Now, those with a good memory will remember that in my last video entitled, Is it too late to buy MindMed? I said this. I think this is going to be the first in a series of videos entitled, Is it too late to buy MindMed? I might be doing the same thing when it's at $3 a share, same thing at $5, $10 a share, who knows? We'll just have to wait to the future. And in my wildest dreams, I didn't expect to be making this second video so quickly. Now, that being said, the answer I gave in that video hasn't changed. No, it is not too late to invest in MindMed. If their technologies to treat addiction, anxiety, depression, and ADHD are successful, 5 years from now, the stock price will be much higher than it is now, even if, in the interim, some hype dissipates and the stock price falls, even substantially. Look at it this way. If the stock price is currently $5, and in 5 years it is $30 or more, it won't matter if in 2021 it dropped to $3 or lower. In this scenario, if you buy now, yes, you will be kicking yourself for not having had waited until the dip. Oh no, I could have made 50% more money if I had waited, you'll be saying to yourself, but you still would have done amazing. Now, I say this because it is not certain that there will be a pullback from these prices. One could imagine a scenario where MindMed makes it into the Nasdaq and they have some good clinical trial results. Stay tuned until the end of this episode. In this case, it is very possible the prices we see today will be the lowest they ever are from here on out. And if that is how the near future plays out, you sure as hell will be kicking yourself for not getting in at $5 instead of $10. You'll be like, oh, woe is me, I should have gotten in earlier, I would have had twice as much money as I have now. And this gets back to the fact that no one can consistently and accurately predict the short-term stock movements. And if they tell you otherwise, they're either lying or deluding themselves. Now, I may not be a financial advisor, and nothing I say in this video is financial advice. But what matters in this case is MindMed's technology to treat addiction, anxiety, etc. If they are successful here, then you will make a killing if you invest now. If they aren't, well, better luck next time. So in summary, keep your eye on the ball, psychedelic investors, have patience, and keep up to date on the clinical trial results. And no, even if the stock drops in the short term, it is not too late to invest in MindMed. In a related vein, for those lucky enough to get into MindMed early, for example, I got in around 30 cents American. Should you take profits? And here I am of two minds. First, no one ever went poor taking profits. This stock is more than 10x this year, so if you want to spread the love to the rest of your portfolio, go for it. Specifically, if MindMed now makes up a majority of your portfolio, I would seriously consider selling some. Like I mentioned before, there is a very real possibility that this could pull back in the short term. Furthermore, I need to stress again that this is a highly speculative stock. If their clinical trials end up failing, you could lose everything. Though again, I don't believe this will happen. So just be safe is all that I'm saying. Don't have all your eggs in one golden basket that may or may not have a hole in the bottom of it. On the other hand, if your portfolio is already well balanced, I may just let this run and see where it goes. Yes, no one ever went poor taking profits, but it is also difficult to become rich doing so. I like investing in companies I believe in, and then leaving them for years. Personally, for now, I am not selling a single share. However, if the stock continues to skyrocket without any foundational news about MindMed's clinical trials, I may revisit this position. For example, if it 5x's again, I will take out a fifth and then spread it among the rest of my portfolio. It would just be too large at that point for me to responsibly hold as much as I would in relation to the rest of my portfolio. And again, I have zero idea if this will happen, but that is where my head is at now. So, next up, very briefly, we have an update on the Nasdaq Uplisting. You will recall that one of the requirements to be uplisted to the Nasdaq in the capital market is having a bid price of at least $4, or, in certain circumstances, between $2 to $3. Now, they hit that in certain circumstances option on December 7th, but yesterday they crossed the threshold for the more general requirement of $4 for the first time. In my last video, I mentioned that if MindMed's application was rejected for any reason, though I did not think this likely, it would be because of their sub $4 share price. And though it's dropped slightly at the time of recording to exactly $4, if they can keep the price over $4, they will appear to meet all the requirements. So, Merry Christmas. Finally, and most importantly, we have an update on the progress of a couple of clinical trials. Yesterday, MindMed distributed a press release giving updates on both Project Lucy, treating anxiety with LSD, and 18MC to treat addiction. Starting with Project Lucy, the company announced the successful completion of pre-IND investigational new drug meeting with the FDA regarding the development of LSD-assisted therapy for anxiety disorder. The successful completion of this engagement with the FDA is an important milestone for the company and provides regulatory clarity and confidence as MindMed advances its lead clinical development program in the U.S. MindMed intends to open the IND with the FDA in August 2021 with a Phase 2b clinical trial evaluating experiential doses of LSD in an anxiety disorder. So this is our first real indication that Phase 2a trials are going well for LSD-assisted therapy to treat anxiety. Though we don't see any data here for how effective the treatment was found to be, it is a very good sign, and it validates my bullishness on the company. For 18MC, the company states, preliminary data has been analyzed for MindMed's addiction treatment program evaluating the ibogaine derivative 18MC, which the company has named Project Layla. As a side note here, this is the first time I've seen the 18MC project called Project Layla. I don't know if I just missed it before, or if this is new, but it has a nice ring to it. Continuing. The preliminary data from Phase 1 multiple ascending dose, MAD, and single ascending dose, SAD, study has shown that the drug is safe and well tolerated at the levels tested to date, and no serious adverse events have been reported. Based on the excellent safety profile observed to date, MindMed's clinical team and 18MC's medical director, Dr. Judy Ashworth, have decided to continue dose escalation in the study to gather higher dosing data. Once that additional data has been reviewed, MindMed will directly thereafter initiate the Phase 2a proof of concept study. A meeting with the FDA has been confirmed to continue discussions regarding the 18MC's clinical development plan. So, I cannot stress enough how important this is. In their Phase 1 trials, 18MC was found to be safe, and they are going to test higher doses. They also reconfirmed that Phase 2a trials are set to launch. So, this is a much bigger deal than the Nasdaq uplisting or the current stock movement. It is beginning to validate the thesis that MindMed may change the game when it comes to the mental health treatment. We are not at a pop the champagne moment yet, but maybe you can start thinking about buying the bottle. This is still a speculative play, but wow. Buckle up, boys and girls, it is about to get interesting. So that is it for our video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feed the almighty YouTube algorithm by giving us your like and subscribe, and smash that notifications bell. This will ensure that we continue making content and that you and others will continue to consume it. And one last note, I realized that I forgot to wish you all a Merry Christmas in the pre-recorded videos that will be released over the coming weeks, so I will do it now. Merry Christmas to all. Or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever you celebrate, of course. And hopefully we will all be receiving a nice Christmas present with MindMed. This is James from the Psychedelic Investor. I'll see you next time.